welcome back, people, to another episode of Generational Sports, and we're finally whole again. I was out, on my little vacation. I come back. What does this man Josh do? Goes out because some things, and now we are finally whole again. So I can finally say, Josh, my friend, how are you doing on this Monday?
I'm doing great, man. It was a rough week, but we're back. We're better, and just took a little break, but we're ready for a regular show.
Yes, sir. And let's not waste any time getting in to said show. And you know what, Josh? You're gonna have to take it away because everybody needs to know how you feel about Space Jam.
It's not even how I feel about it. It's just amazing to me how the second it comes out, like apparently the first Space Jam, like it's a classic. I love the first Space Jam. But the acting from Jordan and that was shitty too, and it was a shitty movie. It was for kids. And that's the same thing with this. I don't know why people think that apparently Martin Scorsese directed the first one and it won Oscars and every award, but it's for kids, man. Athletes can't act. LeBron was not a good actor in this one either. And in the script, really, bro, they just made LeBron look like a shitty parent. Like that was basically the storyline. It was like, he's a shitty dad. that was basically the storyline, but it was funny. I enjoyed it. It's for kids. I just hate seeing these 30-year-old men on Twitter like, awful movie, hated it, just like 3 out of 10. It's like, okay, like it's for kids, bro. It's Bugs fucking Bunny. Like, what do you expect?
Listen, Rotten Tomatoes did not like it either, or IMDb. Did you see the graphic actually that when of LeBron when he was at the finals game on Sunday and they pulled up like the ratings for the movie? Like kind of getting dirty, kind of funny, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But you know what? I can't offer my expertise on the movie side, I didn't see I've never even seen the original Space Jam.
Don Cheadle was great in it, actually. Don Cheadle
I did
awesome
hear that. I did hear Don good Cheadle old Donnie Cheadle, Mr. War Machine.
Yeah.
Doing very well for himself.
Michael Jordan was actually in it too. Michael Jordan was in it.
Oh, I did not know this.
Michael B. Jordan.
Okay.
They made a little joke about that. It was to be.
What was I going to say? You know that Skip and Shannon had a 28-minute segment on this.
28 minutes about Space Jam.
I believe the segment. I'll check for you. A segment is. I lied. 21 minutes and 24 seconds.
That's hilarious, man. Well, how could I? I mean, I just talked everything about it, and it took like 2 minutes, dude. How do you spend 21 minutes talking about that?
Well, I would assume this is how it went because I didn't watch the clip, obviously, for good reasons because I'm not stupid. I assume it went something like Shannon talking about how it's, a kid's movie and that people are just not liking it because it's LeBron. And then I would assume Skip was like, this is a terrible movie because LeBron's in it. Michael Jordan's always better. He's even a better actor. And then Shannon being like, oh, you just don't like it because LeBron, blah, blah. That's exactly how it goes. Come on.
Yeah.
You know what it is by now.
Yeah, classic Undisputed. It used to be good. Undisputed used to be good.
Nah, you're not wrong. Really not wrong. I thoroughly
rinse and repeat.
I did enjoy it at a time. In fact, you see, it's weird. I don't know if it's because I just kept growing up and I realized how annoying everything was. Like, because my senior year of high school, I would literally go into the computer lab and watch First Take clips like all day. And I would watch First Take like in class because I sat in the back all the time and while I was a terrible student. And then in college, I started watching Undisputed. Oh, look at Josh, can you believe your eyes right now?
Wow.
I don't even know who this guy is.
The great. He's a myth. He's the man, the myth, the legend.
The long lost Alex doesn't even know my phone number anymore, Valdez.
Dang.
Crazy. Man gets one podcast royalty. Don't know nobody no more. Crazy. Unbelievable. What's good, Alex? Still waiting on my check, though. Just saying. Oh, now the phone works both ways. I've hit you up before. I've hit you up.
Connie's big time, too, man. Trey Wingo follows you. And all of a sudden,
Trey Wingo does follow the kid.
Never followed me back, though. Never followed me back. Still waiting on that.
I still got bragging rights on that. But what was I going to say? What was I talking about? It clearly wasn't important. Connie out here having 47 shows. Listen, somebody's got to keep it flowing out here. I had to take over your show. Actually, I had to take over 2 of your shows, Alex. Because, technically you did start Backstop Banter. You did.
You did?
And the hard count. But I got both of them now. And then, me and Josh got this. I'm a busy man. I don't know how I'm gonna do all this when I go back to school again, though. Because I actually got to go in person now, so there ain't no more,
Oh, shit.
there ain't no more messing around. Because, those online tests, you might be able to find a way to, get some answers. But in person quizzes and stuff, unless you got to hit them with one of these with the phone, you got to, you know what I mean? I got to figure out my cheating ways again. But you know what? Let's get off Space Jam because nobody actually cares about that. UFC 264, Josh. Tell me about it.
Yeah, I wasn't on the show last week, so I didn't get a chance to give my thoughts about it. But obviously, sucks to see the main event end that way with Conor. Oh, my God. His teeth are
you don't got to tell
sharp.
me, bro. I literally told everybody to sell their house and bet over 93.5 wins for the Yankees. And
you told me they were getting over 100 easy, bro.
Listen.
Lost
So
me
did
$20,
literally
man.
every single person that bet on baseball. Okay, so it's not just me.
$20, Connie.
What's going on there, Matt? We're doing A-okay. But yeah, continue, Josh. Sorry, UFC 264. You talk about that main event real quick.
Yeah, it sucks to see Conor go out like that, but you could clearly see. I mean, I know he said they weren't checked and that it was broken before the fight even started, but there were a couple times where Dustin checked him, and you could clearly see it broken and fractured, and then just that final blow. But that's like the difference between guys like Khabib and Israel Adesanya. Like they reach the top, but they're still hungry. They still want to do it. Conor reached the top, and then became the biggest superstar on the planet. Has the Irish whiskey that's like $500 million. Like fighting is not his focal point anymore. He doesn't need it the way he did when he was double champ. So it's just different. He doesn't have the hunger. Dustin wants it still. So he's fighting out there because it's his lifestyle. It's not the lifestyle for Conor anymore. And there's nothing wrong with that, He's one of the best UFC fighters of all time, first double champ. I mean, I hate how everyone was like, how important is this for his legacy? His legacy.
I was going to ask you that. I felt the same way about that legacy question as I felt about like Brady in this past Super Bowl. Like, bro, the legacy is not in question anymore.
No.
Like, stop. There's no point in asking that. It's been settled. We all know that he's great. We all knew Brady was great. If he won, it adds to the greatness. If he loses, well, he was still fantastic while he was at the top. Like the whole that question annoyed me the entire lead up to the fight. And even I thought it was more of like a media thing, but then even like the announcers started saying it and stuff like that. I was like, I just don't understand like why the legacy was ever put into question. But I want to ask you another question. Now, we had I wouldn't even say a heated debate. We had a long conversation in the group chat on the night of that fight about your UFC Mount Rushmore. And see, I think to be fair to everybody, there should be 2 Mount Rushmores. It should be, what they did for the sport and then how good they were. Like, I think those should be 2 different ones. Yeah, it's a nice warm conversation. You know what I mean? So I'll tell you my Mount Rushmore. And we didn't break it off. We didn't break it into the best and then what they did for the sport. But I kind of did that. I basically did that in mine. So I put John Jones on it because I think he's the GOAT. I then put Connor on it because he was so good and what he did for the sport. I then, because I got to show some love here too. Listen, I know there's a lot of male fighters out there, but I put Amanda Nunes on there because she's an animal. Like who? It's not even fair when people fight her. It's not even a competition. And then finally, another lady I put on there, Ronda Rousey, because Ronda Rousey elevated the sport almost as much as Conor. Not quite there because Conor was just next level, but Ronda did a lot for the sport, and I feel like people forgot that because how her career ended. But like peak Ronda, I didn't even really care about UFC, but you're damn right I was watching those fights. So that was my Mount Rushmore. Alex John Jones is one of my favorite fighters. I definitely made sure to tune into his fights. Me too. I need John Jones to come back. Like, I don't know. Like, come on, Dana. Figure out how to get my son Johnny Bones back. But, Josh, that's my Mount Rushmore. What is yours? I'm curious.
See, I think I'm looking at mine a little differently. I think I'm just looking at their careers as a whole, like what they brought to the sport, the attention they brought, and how they fought. I think it's tough to leave off guys like GSP and Silva, but so I think GSP makes it. I think Khabib's on there for me, just because of how dominant he was. He was a can't miss type of fighter. I don't think John Jones makes it for me, just because of all the things he did outside of fighting that derailed his career. He'd be on there for sure if none of that happened, because he'd be the unquestionably best fighter of all time. But so it'd be Khabib, Silva, GSP. I guess Conor. I think I'd go Conor just because peaks of careers, he's up there. So I think it'd be Khabib, Conor, GSP, and Silva, because Silva he was the first that it was like, oh, this guy's, you got to watch him every time he's fighting. You cannot miss him in a fight. And GSP and Khabib were kind of just unbeatable, these gods, and then what Conor did for the sport. I think that's how I mix it all together. But there's so many fighters that have arguments to be on there. I mean, just so many amazing fighters. Like Nunes is a great pick. I think she definitely deserves to be on there too. John Jones. I mean, Adesanya's arguably could be up there too. I don't know. I think that'd be my 4 though.
You know what? You're not getting any arguments from me because I don't think I could argue the point anyway. But with that being said, we now get into Sandhagen, Dillashaw. Nice little prediction here, Josh. You go ahead because, I have no idea.
Well, while I'm talking about it, I want you to look up Sandhagen versus look up his most recent fight. Just look up his most recent fight. It was against Frankie Edgar. But this fight's gonna be interesting. Corey Sandhagen's fighting the best he's fought in his career so far right now. I think if Aljamain didn't get that controversial win over Petr Yan, where we're looking at a Yan versus you see the knockout.
Oh, my son pieced him.
Yeah, so he got knocked out. That was his most recent fight. So Corey Sandhagen, I think, should be fighting for the belt next, but it'll probably be a rematch. TJ Dillashaw, the last time he fought, he got knocked out in the first round. You know, it was a tough fight against Henry Cejudo, who's another one of the guys who are a GOAT, and he lost the belt, and that was in 2019. So he hasn't fought since then. This is kind of his return. It's going to be a really, really good fight, though. I think Corey Sandhagen is in his prime right now. He's looking for that title shot. TJ, I don't know why he's. If I was him, I'd be like, I'm done, man. Like he had the belt, he defended it, and then he lost it, and it's been 2 years, and now his first fight in 2 years is against one of the top 3 dudes in the division. So it's going to be a good fight. But I would advise betting on Sandhagen by KO. I think that's probably the best bet you can take here. I think it's going to be a very entertaining fight, bantamweight. But I do think Sandhagen, once he wins this fight, unfortunately, because I hate that Petr Yan and Aljamain Sterling DQ happened with the knee to the head while he was down.
Crazy.
because Sterling, he's a good fighter, but he's not the champ. I don't think he's top 3 fighters in the division. I think it's Piotr Jan and Corey Sandhagen that should be fighting for the belt. But we'll have to wait a while for that until the rematch happens eventually, and then Piotr gets it back hopefully, and then we get Jan versus Sandhagen. But this fight should be really good. There's some other pretty nice fights on this card. But yeah, I'm going to go with Sandhagen by knockout. I think he gets late second round.
Well, it would be a lot more interesting if I picked against you. But I just watched that video. And how am I going to pick against a man who just knocked somebody out with a flying knee? I can't do it.
Flying knee was nasty.
I simply can't do it. It would be against everything in me who thoroughly loves a good old knockout. And I mean, a flying knee knockout, that's what we're talking about.
It was like a fadeaway flying knee too. Like, man was backing up.
Hit him with it and immediately walked away too, cold-blooded.
Because he knew.
Cold-blooded. Not a single punch not a single ground and pound. Just walked away.
And Frankie Edgar is one of those guys too.
I also saw today, now that we're talking about walkaways, and I didn't even think this was possible, but I saw the most badass golf clip of my entire life.
Badass golf?
No. Like, you just listen. So I don't know who the other guy was, but it was Jack Nicklaus, obviously one of the GOATs of golf, and some other dude, and it was like a super long putt, and there were like 2 hills, and it just looked like an impossible putt. And the guy was like, well, I don't know if there's any point in putting it from here. And Nicholas is like, why not? And he's like, well, I don't think it's, very easy or something like that. And Nicholas is like, oh, you want me to show you how to do it? And he literally walks over, drops the ball, and then nails the putt. And just walked away. But and I'm not talking like some casual 5-foot putt. Like, we're talking like 40 feet, and there was a hill slanted this way, then a further one slanted the other way. So he had to read it, and I don't know how he did it, but it was the most badass golf clip I've ever seen in my life, and I can't believe I've never seen it before.
I'd probably be more impressed if I, paid attention to golf or knew about golf.
No, you know what? I honestly might have to try to find this clip, bro. I really might. Because, like I said, I think if you were to ever tell me that a golf clip could be badass, I'd be like, all right, calm down here. All right, here we go. I found it. I think.
Christian does this every time he golfs, according to Alex.
What? Does what?
Does
he ain't making 100.
I believe it.
Oh, I lied.
I believe it.
This putt says it was 102 feet, bro. 102 feet. All right.
102 feet.
Let's take a gander here. Hold on. Let me share the screen. I'm gonna show the whole world this putt, bro, because I think it honestly deserves some greatness. All right. Hold on. Can you see it?
I can see it.
All right. Can you hear the video?
I cannot.
Oh, all right. Well, he just said, do you want me to show you how to putt it? Watch this. Just puts the ball down right there. Just walks up, casual. Drilled it.
That easy. He's like, man, come on. It's not even that hard.
Like, casually.
Just what we do, man.
That's unbelievable. And I think the world.
See, guys like me, Christian, and Jack Nichols, we just got it like that.
Josh, I would pay money to see you hit a golf ball, bro.
I'd probably just hit it as far and as hard as I can, man, and be like, yeah.
Yeah, then it would go 80 feet to the left because you probably got a mean slice.
But I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
But with that being said, once again, we'll get into the NBA Finals, the big story that everybody wants to talk about. Josh, it is a 3-2 lead for the Milwaukee Bucks. A Game 5 they stole in Phoenix. crazy ending. They were up, I think, by like 16 or something like that, something of that.
Mm-hmm.
The Suns battled back. I think at one point they had the lead in like the third quarter. Then the Bucks took the lead back again, and then it looked like they were going to run away with it. And then the Suns battled back again in the fourth quarter, make it a very close game. Was it tied at one point towards the end, I believe, or were they?
I think it was like a 1 or 2 point game.
Yeah, so one or two, something very minuscule. And then maybe the play of the finals. I can't decide if it's the block that Giannis had in Game 4 on DeAndre Ayton, where I don't even listen. That's up there with the great blocks of all time. Literally no idea how he did it. But Drew Holiday steals the ball from Devin Booker, just launches it out of his hands, gets the ball, tosses it up to Giannis, alley-oop with Chris Paul, trying to foul him and stop it. He converts, and the Bucks steal a game in Phoenix. They head back to Milwaukee and the Deer Park. Is that what it's called or something like that?
I can't.
Is it? Is that what it is?
No, because I just saw it too. Damn. I just saw what they called it.
I think it's the Deer. I feel like it's the Deer Park, bro.
The Deer Park sounds so shitty. I hope it's not.
No, that does sound very bad.
Welcome to the Deer Park. Like Jurassic Park was the official.
Jurassic Park, that was lit.
The Deer Park, bro.
I don't know. Listen, Giannis had a series-defining plays. Love to see it. I mean, that Game 5 was all time. This series is an all-time finals, I think. Especially if this ends up going 7 somehow, which I kind of don't want to happen because I don't know. I think after these last 2 games, I just want the Bucks to win. I know everybody wants CP3 to get his ring. I think it'd be cool.
Man. I don't even want him to get it.
Really?
He tried to end Giannis's career on that alley-oop, bro. That was some bullshit.
Yeah, that was not a very good foul, especially after that injury Giannis had. But here's the thing too that I like about this finals. I feel like in the past you haven't had anybody to root for in the finals almost. Like it was the mega Warriors versus LeBron, and people usually hated LeBron, and then obviously you don't want the Warriors to win. And then who was that? So who's after that? I mean, they had the Toronto and Golden State one, but obviously some people didn't like Kawhi because the way he got out of San Antonio.
People were rooting for Miami last year. People were rooting for Miami.
Oh, okay, Miami. Yeah, you're right. They rooted for Miami last year, but obviously they didn't end up winning. But I feel like in this finals, whoever wins, I feel like people are happy because everybody seems like everybody is very likable. There's not like a supervillain in this finals. There is no KD Warriors. There is no LeBron. There is no KD Nets. Obviously, and we know that there's no LeBron. So you have CP3 who could get his first ring after such a long time in the league. Everybody would want that to happen. And then you have Giannis, who's just like every clip you see of him, he's just a nice guy. So like, how do you not root for that either? So it's been a very good finals. Josh, what are your thoughts on Game 5? Just the series in itself.
Yeah, Game 5 was – I didn't catch the first 3 quarters, but I did watch the fourth quarter. It was insane. I mean, Book dropping 40 back-to-back games, just basically not carrying the Suns. I don't want to say carrying because I think a lot of people are really not understanding what's happening with the Suns. They've been able to really coast through the playoffs kind of due to injuries and just other teams not being 100% going into those series and them having the second seed, not having to fight for seeding late in the regular season. They were able to just play their game and not really have to do too much. Against the Bucks, it's completely different because the Bucks are battling and now they're here, and it's different. And people are saying like that it's Book is carrying them. It's not that. It's that Giannis is a very tough matchup for DeAndre Ayton. His toughest matchup he's had so far. It's been very tough for him. So that's been DeAndre Ayton's problem. I mean, Drew Holiday is just locking everything up. So it's not easy to get buckets. It's just that Book is a bucket, so that's why it looks like he's carrying him. Just because that's what he does. But it's been an amazing series just because every game just in the last 3 minutes, you don't know who's going to win, really. Like, you have no idea what's going to happen. Game for game, I don't think I've seen a series like this since Spurs versus Heat back in 2014, I think it was. Like, since then, the series haven't been like that. Like, game 2 will be a 20-point win. Game 3 will be a 30-point win. Like, that's how it's been for the past, like, half decade. So finally we get a series like this where it's just back and forth, two teams that are hungry for it. And I love it. It's that steal. I know a lot of people are calling it a foul. I don't think it was a foul on Drew.
Really?
I think he got a little bit of the arm. Because he did get him a little bit on the arm, but it was, if anything, it should have been called a jump ball right away if you're going to argue anything about that play. But it's yeah. I've been staying away from betting. I have not been doing it in plays.
I have not bet in a while.
So
and
like, Bucks minus 4.5 is like insane. Like, it just sounds insane.
Here's the thing. I feel like I've stayed away from betting. One, because I hate losing my money, and I had been on a terrible cold streak. And second, betting makes the games you don't want to watch a lot more interesting, but it makes the games you do want to watch terrible sometimes.
Awful.
I feel like I hate watching. Like I said, if I bet on it's so weird that I still want to say Browns, but they're actually good now, so I can't say that anymore. Like if I wanted to bet on Bengals, Jags, or something like that, there we go. All right, it makes the game interesting. Maybe I wouldn't have watched that before, and don't get me wrong, I'm invested because I want the team I bet on to win. But I don't think it would affect me that much. But if I'm watching the Bucks, Suns final game, and I'm just trying to watch it and have fun, but I put money on it, I feel like it ruins everything.
Because you don't care about the game anymore. You just care about
I feel like you can't even enjoy. All right, say you bet on the Suns money line in that game. That Giannis dunk or alley-oop destroyed you, made you want to cry. Yeah. But me, who had nothing involved in it, I was, losing my mind. I was like, oh my God, that was literally one of the greatest plays I've ever seen in my entire life. So I could actually enjoy it.
What pissed me off about the, there's an iconic photo of Giannis doing that dunk. And in the background, there's just a kid recording it with his phone. I'm like, are you shitting me, bro? Watch it live. Get off your phone, man. Just to watch the shit. You can find the clip and find it somewhere else, dude. God. There are courtside tickets and you're on your phone recording.
See, here's the thing. I can understand it if you're pulling one of these, or you're watching it and you're just hoping that you're recording it with your phone.
Nah, my man was.
See, that's where you lost me. If you're watching the play through your phone,
that's what he was doing. I'm like, dude, come on.
That's stupid.
Yeah,
listen, that's the problem with our generation. We want to have the clip everywhere. And don't get me wrong, I thoroughly appreciate you idiots who actually do that because, then I get a different angle of it and it looks really cool. So I get what Connie is saying. It makes the game not as enjoyable if your bet is coming to the wire, bro. Like I said, the NFL season was ruined for me in week 1, bro. I needed the Eagles to win. Just win. And they blow a 17-point lead at halftime. Lose. And that was the only game on my parlay that lost. And I was
they
up.
Tied. They tied that game.
They did. Not week 1.
The Bengals, right? That was
no, it was Eagles, Redskins, week 1. Trust me, I remember. Josh, don't you worry. I remember. I remember. I would have been up $2,000 with that parlay.
The player props are even worse because then it's
Cowboys blew my 1,600 parlay and I still haven't forgiven Perry. Hey, listen. You bet. Well, first of all, I don't know if all right. Do you not forgive Perry because it's the Cowboys and you just associate it, or is it because you took Perry's advice? Because if you took Perry's advice on the Cowboys, I'm sorry, Alex. Love you still. But you kind of deserve it. Just saying. You can't take a Cowboys advice on the Cowboys. They're delusional.
Yeah. Well, because you're just going to pick the Cowboys.
Okay, see, never mind. Just because it's the Cowboys. All right, it's fair. That's fair then. I fully feel you on that one. What were you saying, Josh?
I was saying, these games when they come down to the wire, it just comes down to making those plays, and the Bucks just seem so much better at running their offense than Phoenix has lately, which is really weird to say because this whole series we've been saying how much better of a coach Monty Williams is than Coach Bud. But Bud's drawing up plays, making it happen. They're playing random, like he said in the locker room. Play random, and
you know what the turning point is. And I was watching ESPN, and they were talking about, I can't remember who it was, one of the NBA analysts. During the season, and even the first half of these playoffs, Giannis was the closer. And don't get me wrong, or not the closer, but the primary ball handler at the end. So kind of your closer in a way. And don't get me wrong, Giannis is fantastic. Everybody knows that by now. If you're not a Giannis believer, well, you just don't like Giannis at this point. But you know where he is trying to go. And if you can stop him from going there and you can make him shoot, we all obviously know he is not Steph Curry. So it is a very good chance that he doesn't make the three or maybe that midi that you're forcing him into. Chris Middleton being the primary ball handler at the end of games is what the Bucks needed to do always. Because now at least he can pass the ball to somebody else like Giannis, Drew Holiday, or whatever. He can create. I think he can create more because he can obviously drill a three. He can hit a midi. He can go to the basket, or he can, just handle the ball and let Giannis, battle his way down low instead of having the ball and having to dribble down low and get there. Giannis can just get to the spot and not worry about the ball. Chris Middleton being the primary ball handler at the end of games is what the Bucks needed to do, and it's what they have done. And I think that's a huge turning point for them.
I completely agree, and it pisses me off. This is on the list of things to talk about for the finals. It's this whole Middleton is Batman, Giannis is Robin is bullshit. Middleton's the closer, yes. Every team has a closer. Kobe closed for Shaq, but everyone knew damn well that was Shaq's team. Kyrie hit the biggest shot in NBA Finals history. You gonna tell me that that wasn't LeBron's team because Kyrie hit the big shots? No. When you have a guy who can dominate for 3 quarters, but he's not gonna hit a step back three, and he's not someone you want at the line all the time. But then you do have someone who's got ice in their veins and they can create a shot, hit jumpers, hit free throws late game. You're gonna get them the ball.
Hey Josh, you want to know the betting? Want to know the betting on the game 6? It just popped up on the screen.
What?
Milwaukee's a 5-point favorite, plus 175 for the Suns on the money line, minus 200 for the Bucks, and the over under was like 226, I think.
I'd probably take the under on that. These games have not gone super high.
Giannis's comments about Middleton is the best example of a superstar appreciating his teammates.
Yeah.
Yo, Giannis has made some really nice, Giannis has made some quotable comments in his press game conferences.
Yeah, I mean, it's just stupid. Like, people got to find a way to make smart basketball, attack it, make it a negative effect on the other player. Like, why can't Giannis and Middleton both be fucking stars on the team? Why can't it just be like that? Why can't Middleton just be the closer because he's better at it? You don't want Giannis hitting a step-back mid-range jumper. You want Middleton doing it. It's just as simple as that, but they got to get in depth with it and call it Batman Robin. The fuck is that? No, this is obviously Giannis's team. He's a 2-time MVP. He's averaging 30 and 14. But obviously Middleton's going to take those shots late because he can create, and they're just going to foul Giannis if he has the ball. It's just pretty simple, but people just like to exaggerate it into something it isn't. But shout out Middleton. He's an amazing closer, and I agree with you. That was a turning point when they started going to him late game. That was huge for them.
Yeah, and like you said, I think it's people just trying to create a storyline. I really do think that's what it is, because I don't think there's any question, like you said, that it is Giannis's team. Mm-hmm. I don't know how you can say it's Middleton when Giannis is a 2-time MVP, the Defensive Player of the Year, the one that's averaging. He's going to be the MVP of the finals. Giannis is going to be the MVP of the finals. Have those back-to-back 40-point games. Even Middleton in the games he's not dropping
80. He could drop 80 tomorrow and hit the game winner, hit 15 threes. Giannis is still getting that finals MVP. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, and Batman and Robin, why can't it just be appreciation in a way?
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody always likes comparing things to other stuff because I don't know if it makes it easier for people to digest or anything, but it's just two players playing very well and willing their team. Because listen, Drew Holiday still kind of on the milk carton right now. A little bit on the milk carton.
No, he had his game. That was the Drew Holiday game we've been waiting for.
No, absolutely. He showed up. We finally, the milk cartons finally worked. We found him.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he only got 2 players. And see, that's the other thing, too. Like, so what? The closer is automatically Batman now? And, like, so you're telling me, Michael Jordan wasn't the Batman of those teams, bro, because Steve Kerr hit a 3 to win a finals game. Like, really? So Steve Kerr is Batman now.
So Kyrie did it for Cleveland, not LeBron. That's just how it is, I guess.
And what happens with the Nets? Who's the Batman then? What happens if everybody takes game-winning shots at the end?
Bruce Brown. That's Bruce Brown's thing, man. That's Bruce Brown.
Oh yeah.
He took a game winner. He's a closer.
It's a stupid conversation. It's everybody trying to devalue everything else and trying to heighten up their own opinion with some BS that they don't actually know what they're talking about. But so you think Giannis is the Finals MVP no matter what? Because I agree with that. But I mean, you go on. Actually, I think it was CJ McCollum who said it that Middleton should get some votes, and I don't have a problem with him getting votes. And then Rudy Gobert, I believe, came back and said anything to discredit Giannis, and then McCollum said, "I'm not trying to discredit him, but Middleton's playing out of his mind as well. He needs his appreciation too." Blah blah. Mm-hmm. I think votes is fine. Like if you voted for Chris Middleton, okay, congrats. I'm not going to be mad at you, but I think it's Giannis's award to lose, and you obviously agree.
Yeah. See, I think this whole this guy contributed is cool. Like Iggy contributed in that finals. I still think it's bullshit. He got Finals MVP over Steph. I think it's very clear Steph was the best player on that team, and is the reason they won the finals. Giannis is the best player on this team, and is the reason they're in this position. Yes, Middleton is playing great basketball alongside him, but if you take Giannis off this team, or if you don't let him dominate for 3 quarters, and instead you let Middleton dominate the way Giannis does for 3 quarters, they're not up in the series. It's just not going to work. So I think Middleton deserves his credit, deserves a couple votes. Yes, I get that. But it's Giannis. Giannis is a Finals MVP. He is the league MVP 2 times. This is his team. He's the max contract guy. There's no question he should get Finals MVP. I get it. He should get some votes. He definitely deserves his flowers, but that does not mean he deserves a Finals MVP.
Middleton has to drop 40-plus rest away to even entertain MVP conversation. Yeah, listen, Middleton had his 40-point game as well. So, like I said, I don't think anybody's disrespecting Middleton unless you're Corey, because he doesn't think he's good at all. So I don't think anybody's disrespecting Middleton by saying he's not the MVP. I feel
36 on the road in the finals, and Shaq still got all those MVPs, man.
That's how I feel about MVPs in general, though. It's like if this player doesn't win MVP, they're disrespected. I'm sorry, no, they're not.
No,
maybe somebody just had a better season than you.
Yeah.
Jokic won MVP this year. So that's disrespectful to everybody else who didn't? No, it's not. He just played better than you. Listen, if Embiid played more games, he probably would have won the MVP. And then maybe you can get into the disrespect conversation when there's a clear winner.
Right.
But they don't get it. That would people always go back to the Kobe MVPs where he didn't get them, but Nash did. That might be a little disrespectful. So you can go there, but all because you didn't win Finals MVP because your teammate dropped 35 and 14 in game is not disrespectful to not put you in the MVP conversation. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you didn't drop. It may be all right if you dropped 40 and 15, but Giannis still won. Then I could be all right, maybe a little disrespectful. But you're not dropping.
How they're bringing up Middleton's stats and how good they are, but it's then they're just ignoring how insane Giannis's are. He's averaging 30 on 60% shooting. Shaq's the only other guy that's done that. 60% shooting, and he's handling the ball, attacking the basket, and like it's you give the Finals MVP to the heart and soul of the leader of the team. That's how it works. That's how it's always been. That's who you give it to.
Kobe's missed MVP discussion does have a strong argument for him having more. Yeah, I think Kobe should have more MVPs as well. But
way more.
Like I said, that's what I'm saying. No, that's a conversation where you can get into somebody being disrespected by not winning it.
Mm-hmm.
Like even Jordan and LeBron, they can be in the conversation for being disrespected out of MVPs almost because it was like, oh, well, obviously that's what they're supposed to do. Like, no, all because you can do that and then you do it does not mean you're supposed to do it. Like, that's a bad argument. Because here's the other thing, too. If they can do it, did do it, and then stop doing it, it's, oh, they're bad now. But because they still are doing it, that means they don't get the MVP. Like, I've always hated that. My number one pet peeve is always that, oh, well, this is what we expect from them. Okay, then give them the award, you idiot. So you tell me Brady goes out and 45 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Well, I mean, it's Tom Brady. We can't give him the MVP all because he did that. Like, what are you talking about? So you're going to give it to, Baker Mayfield because he threw for 40 and people didn't think he could do that? Like, that's just a dumb conversation. Exactly. LeBron and MJ have to deal with people in their high standard. People get stale eyes. Exactly. I feel like in any sport, you could probably argue that the greatest player of that sport should have more MVPs.
Yeah. No doubt about it.
I mean, MJ, how many does MJ have?
I think he has like 5
or
6,
that's a lot. Probably should have more. LeBron
should have like 9 or 10.
LeBron
has 4.
LeBron should have
at least 7. Yeah, he should have at least.
I think Brady has 3 MVPs.
Should have way more than that.
Should have more than that. Like, you can get it. Every great of their sport has dealt with the stale eye thing that Alex just said. So, love the Wallace jersey, Josh. That's the second time you've gotten love on that jersey. I forgot to pull it up before, but Matt earlier in the show, Josh with the LT Jets jersey and Mike Wallace Steelers jersey. Hey, I got to get into my football jersey game. But you see, here's the thing. I actually like wearing the jersey I buy, and NFL jerseys are not comfortable.
Yeah, I hate wearing.
Like, NFL jerseys are not.
And they look. You really have to be able to pull off a jersey, bro.
See, like I feel like I can pull off. I feel like I can pull off MLB jersey. I got a few. And I feel like I can pull them off.
Jersey. Football jerseys are the toughest thing to pull off, bro.
You can pull off an NBA and MLB jersey pretty easy. NFL, that's some work. I'm getting a Kendrick Bourne jersey. Hey, listen, my man Kendrick Bourne balls out this year. You never know. I'm just saying.
Hey, what do you think N'Keal Harry's trade value is?
I hope N'Keal Harry gets traded for a bag of flaming hot Cheetos. I want a bag of flaming hot Cheetos and like a dozen wings. You got him.
Deal.
I'm dead ass. That man is useless on that team. I mean, he is.
Pay for my gas and you can have him.
Nah, if you pay for his plane ticket to come to your team, you got him. I don't even want to pay the man to leave. Actually, I changed my mind. I might pay him to leave. That's how bad I don't need him on my team. Like, what is he, the 8th option on the team? I feel like Cam Newton. I feel like Cam might catch a pass before he does.
He's nice. Got a lot of potential. Still developing.
Yeah. Developing into a bigger bust than I thought he could possibly be. But whatever. It's a good segue, though, because we do want to get into some football. Believe it or not, people, we are 8 weeks away. I cannot wait for the start of football season. I was talking to Josh before we went live, not only because I miss it, but let me tell you something. It makes scheduling these shows and what we're going to talk about so much easier. Because it's like, what are we going to talk about today? Maybe the finals, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Football season, it's like, oh, yeah, we got 16 games to choose from. There was that injury. This player did this. So easy. God, I absolutely love it. Alex, football is almost back and having to stress about 25 fantasy lineups. Alex, I Alex, text me. I need to pay you for that fantasy league. I never did yet, but it's just because I don't look at that app because I just forget about it. But this dynasty season might be a little bit of a rough one for the kid. I don't have the best players, but hey, I got 3 first-round picks next year.
Okay.
I think I got some. My wide receivers are pretty good. So I have Cam Akers on that team. I think so.
Okay.
I'm set at least at 1 running back spot. So hey, do I want T-Law in that league? He's on the block. Alex, we'll talk. Is it do you have T-Law, Alex, or am I gonna have to go through a third party here? Let me know. But yeah, we're gonna start. God, I love fantasy football though. Jesus, that's just yes, you do have him, Alex. You might have to talk a little bit. Might have to, because my quarterbacks. Let me go to the app. Let me tell the people my team. Because it's not, I'll be the first one to say it. It's not very good. But in my defense, I did not know that we were doing a 2-quarterback league.
That is tough.
So I didn't know. But here's the team. I have Daniel Jones. Maybe, Kanye has Chad Pennington as QB2. That is a lie.
That'd be better than Danny Dimes.
Nah, come on. Don't disrespect Danny D.
No, the hype is dead, man. When he tripped over.
Hey, listen, you got Kenny Golladay this year. Breakout season for Daniel Jones. MVP for Daniel Jones. Just kidding. I'm totally kidding.
He's throwing 10 passes a game. Saquon.
Hey, listen, as long as he doesn't fumble, that's fine. Daniel Jones, a quarterback. All right, then I got Cam Akers. A1. See, look at this. Danny Dimes, top 15 fantasy quarterback this year.
It'd be tough to do that with Darnold going off. It'd be very tough.
All right, this guy. I got Cam Akers. My second running back spot is a little tough, though. I got Lenny Fournette. So, definitely not the best. Yeah. Definitely not the best. But then we get into the wide receivers, and I'm stacked.
DJ Moore.
I got Mike Evans.
Okay, touchdown machine.
I got Tyler Lockett.
Okay, 200 yards.
We go to the tight end position, Mark Andrews.
Ooh.
We got Brandon Ayuk.
I like that.
We also got Nelson Aguilar.
That is
and finally, whoa. Mr. Keenan Allen.
Oh, why didn't you start with that? Are you kidding me?
See, like the wide receivers are stacked.
Yeah, that's a nice receiver. Especially
and then my second quarterback in at the moment is Jimmy G.
Benched after week 2. Yeah, good luck with that.
And then my bench is see, this is how I was down bad last year, because for a while this was my starting quarterback. Mitch Trubisky's on the bench, which is definitely not what we like to see.
In real life too.
I did draft Zach Wilson though. Hey. I also got Kerryon Johnson. I got Bryce Love as well. Not Blake Snell. Jesus Christ, that's baseball. Benny Snell. Mark Ingram. Okay. Cole Beasley on the bench, too. Sterling Shepard on the bench. Yeah, he is. But, hey, they need a running back. They're going to have to be running the ball.
That's David Johnson. They gave up D.
No, David Johnson's good for at least 1 injury a year. You know it. Come on.
1 injury a week.
Yeah, exactly. I got Cole Beasley, John Brown, Sterling Shepard all on the bench. More wide receiver depth. Football. I got Hollywood Brown on the bench. I got Bateman on the bench. I got Kadarius Toney on the bench. And then I got Njoku and Rudolph on the bench as well. And then I got my man Mac 10 Jones too.
Okay. Mac and cheese.
Oh, hey. Listen, and 3 first-round picks next year. I could be doing some things.
I mean, you need a lot of things to go your way to really do something, but it's not bad.
Give me a grade on the team, bro.
Give it B-.
See, I think that's fair though, because if I could just get
The potential's there. The potential
decent
is
quarterback play.
there.
This team would be. I need a decent quarterback play, and I need another. I need
If
another.
If Zach Wilson plays like that number 2 overall pick, and Danny has a decent season, you're not.
See, Alex, this is true. I can play a wide receiver in the super flex spot, but my problem is I feel like the quarterbacks just automatically get more points than a wide receiver, so I just play 2 quarterbacks.
It depends on the quarterback.
But I am confident in Danny Dimes this year. I think he's going to be good. And then you know what? We're going to see what Zach Wilson does because I think Jimmy G is getting benched eventually for Mr. Why can't I think of his name? That's Trey Lance. There we go. Here we go. I think he's getting benched eventually, so I'm going to have to take him out. But hey, you know what? Maybe I
deny that too.
What? That he's not going to get benched?
Like, how do you give up 3 first-round picks and you're like, he's going to sit for a while?
Bro,
they gave up 3 first-round picks. He's playing.
If you think Jimmy G not getting benched this year, you are on crack.
Yeah. Every time I hear the word crack, I just always think about Stephen A. talking
That's
about
exactly
Lamar
why I
Odom.
said it. That's exactly why I said
what I think
it. That is the greatest Stephen A. of all time.
Lamar Odom's out here fighting, bro. Everybody's getting in the fight game.
Yo, then I don't even care about the fights, bro. That is the greatest Stephen A. clip of all time. His first thing was to sign Lamar Odom. Who is on crack? Like, you snapped. He kind of snapped.
Him and Max got some iconic moments. I want Iguodala.
Oh, I want
Fate of the
Iguodala.
universe on the line.
We of course got the stay off the weed. There's some good. Oh, man, Stephen A.
Those are all old, man. See, now it sucks. Now the shows suck. Now Stephen A's out here talking about Otani needing a translator and shit. Now it sucks.
Definitely not a good look.
Yeah.
You know what? Like I said, let's get into football. Let's get in it. We're going to break down a little bit of the NBA. Oh, we know you got to do your over/under.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's do it. I want to hear this.
We got 3 of them.
Okay.
And they're all receiving yards.
All right.
And these are.
Wait, are these projections?
No. This is
it's from last year.
No, not from last year. This is from random years. Could be.
Okay.
Could be way back. But I definitely watched highlights from all 3 of these guys after seeing the stats. So, 2011, Roddy White.
Ooh.
Over under 1,100 yards.
1,100. That's a solid season. I feel like Roddy White in 2011.
2011.
I feel like over.
You said over?
I did.
He finished with 1,296 yards. Roddy White was that man, bro. Him and Julio's first couple years.
People forget about Roddy White.
Yeah,
an animal.
Yeah. Another man who was just a beast and then just disappeared off the face of the earth. 2009, Sidney Rice.
2009?
Over under 1,200 yards.
I got to go under.
He finished with 1,312 yards.
Really?
My man Sidney Rice was a beast, bro. Sidney Rice.
I feel like Sidney Rice. Oh, no. You know what? I messed up.
Days.
No, I messed up. I was thinking of Percy Harvin. Low key.
Oh, no. Sidney Rice was that dog, bro.
Because Percy Harvin was always hurt. And I was like, no way he got that many yards.
And then 2013, Flash Gordon. Over under 1,500 yards. 1,500.
God, with all his suspensions.
Brian Hoyer and who else was that quarterback?
I want to say I'm going to go with under, but it's very close.
He finished with 1,646 yards.
He didn't even play in all the games, did he?
No.
And didn't he have like back-to-back 200-yard games?
Oh yeah. He had like 3 straight crazy games.
Oh man, I will say this till the end of my life that Josh Gordon would have been a top 5 receiver of all time. If he
Josh Gordon is unguardable.
Bro, that man was torching like prime Patriot teams casually.
With like 4 quarterbacks a game. Like Brian Hoyer
Oh,
looked like
Josh
Brady.
Gordon, why'd you have to ruin everything?
He just smoked a little weed for a while and then got worse.
Yeah, for sure. But like that was just against the rules.
Yeah, now they're cool with it though. Is the NFL
You know how
still not
tight
cool
he
with
has
it?
to be?
No, I mean like in general. Is the NFL like still crazy against weed?
No, I think that I don't know
the
if they're
NBA and UFC have
Yeah, I don't
taken it
know.
off the drug test.
I am not positive. I feel like they're a lot more lenient now, but I can't remember like what their exact rule is. So I don't know. But we're gonna get into the NFC West now. We're gonna, break down a division each week. 8 weeks till the season starts. There's 8 divisions. So let's get this bread. We'll start with the NFC West. And Josh, we don't really have a game plan for this, but I'm just gonna do this. What do you think? What do you think the standings end up being?
That's tough.
It's a hard question.
This division, there's so many questions about this division because Arizona's got a new looking defense, new looking receiving grip a little bit.
You want to know what my thing is too, though? I think I have one lock in this division. One.
What?
And I think it's the Cardinals finishing last.
Really?
I'm confident in locking that in.
Okay, well, I was also going to say something like that, except it was San Francisco.
Really? See,
yes,
we're on opposite ends of the spectrum here, guys.
That was going to be my lock. San Francisco, they have a quarterback problem. That's the biggest problem you can have in the NFL. I love that. I don't know. I love their front seven. I love Fred Warner. I think that secondary scares me a little bit. Definitely confuses me. And who does Jimmy Ward think he is, bro? Does he think he's out here
was talking wild about
Matt Stafford, bro? Like, come on, man. Matt Stafford is that guy. Don't play with Matt. But I think the Rams win the division. I think Stafford is a huge upgrade from Jared Goff. I think he, talent-wise and what he can do out there, I think he's going to take that offense to a whole nother level. Obviously, that defense still has the greatest defensive player eventually of all time, Aaron Donald. You got a lockdown corner in Jalen Ramsey. It's a really good defense, and that offense is now going to have an actual quarterback that can lead them, and an up-and-coming star and running back, with Cam Akers back there, who's had a really nice season. So I'm going to have them win it. And then, let Russ cook. He's going to cook and get them probably into a wild card game. I think they'll finish as the second seed. I think that defense. I mean, they added Carlos Dunlap, but that defense still sucks. They still suck over there.
Terrible.
But that offense is going to put up 35 a game, and everyone else is going to have to match it just because that's just how they do it. And then I'll have Arizona third. I think they even get in a wild card game too, because I think that division is that good. I think Kyler Murray has an MVP season, actually. I think when we did our way too early award predictions, I think I picked Kyler Murray for MVP. I'm still going to stick with that, but I think he does win it this year. I think that offense just goes insane this year. I think adding J.J. Watt was huge. I think that defense takes another step with Isaiah Simmons and Budda Baker. So I think that team plays well. And then San Francisco, they have a quarterback problem. Jimmy G's going to play until he sucks. Then Trey Lance is going to go in there, and I don't think he's going to be amazing right away. I think it's going to be a learning year. I think it's going to be tough. That defense lost a couple players. Their running back situation, it's. I mean, most of it's good, but he's not great. The receivers are good, but not great. But obviously, when you have a coach like Shanahan, you can make anything happen. But I just think having two quarterbacks who you don't know who you want is going to be a big problem for them. And I think they have another down year.
Now, you have them having a down year because of the quarterbacks, or you think – because you know what?
Believe it or not, it's a mixture of everything. Did
you know that the 49ers are the most injured team
last year
8
sucked for them.
years in a row.
8 years?
8.
Going
Not
back
one,
to the Alex Smith days?
not 2, not 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but 8 years in a row. They are the most
That's
injured team.
That's tough.
And you know what?
I think it continues again.
Mina Khan said it. Great follow on Twitter. Love Mina Khan.
Oh, yeah.
I hope she comes on the show one of these days. It has to change sometime, right? And this is the year. I think it changed. See, all right. I think I agree with you that that the Rams are going to be in first. Listen, they were good with Garoppolo. I am an idiot, Garoppolo. Jesus. Jared Goff. They were good with Goff. Got to Super Bowl. Lost, to my boys. But they got there.
In the ugly Super Bowl of all time, I might add.
Yeah, it was definitely not. See, that was another game that was a game I wish I didn't like any of the teams because I could have just chilled and been like, wow, this game isn't that good. But I was still pacing around my house like a complete and utter idiot because it was the Patriots and I wanted them to win. But I think the Rams probably end up in first. Like you said, you go down their defense. I mean, you got Jalen Ramsey. You still got Donald there. I hear those two names, and I'm automatically thinking top 5 defense automatically. So, and they were good with Goff, and everybody thinks Stafford is a better quarterback than Jared Goff. So why would that not make them a better team? Pretty simple math there. And I think that they have the running back situation actually figured out. I think last year they didn't really know what to do. And now they're like, all right, Cam Akers is going to be the guy going forward. You obviously still have Woods there. Cooper Kupp is amazing. I know that they lost a tight end in free agency, but I think they're still going to be. Yeah, I was going to say they still have Higbee, so they're still going to be pretty good in that situation. Now, a little worried about the O-line because it's definitely not, the best in the NFL, but Matt Stafford is a absolute warrior, as everybody knows, because they shove that clip of him down our throat every single year. Yeah, of him with the shoulder. Bro, I'm going to be real. I appreciate the toughness and everything. Bob, I have to see that clip one more time. I might end it all.
It just always makes me laugh whenever the teammate comes up and hits his shoulder.
Yeah, hits on his shoulder.
He's like,
He's like, careful.
Yeah.
But so I think the Rams are going to end up one. And I'm going to shock people here. Give me the Niners at 2, baby. I think that defense has a huge comeback year. They're going to have Bosa for the full year. Jimmy's going to play all right. I don't think he's going to play that. See, that's the thing with Jimmy, too. I feel like he doesn't play you out of games. He keeps you in them, but I don't think he wins you. I don't think he wins you games, but I don't necessarily think he loses you too many games. So with their defense, I think it's going to be on the come up because everybody's going to stay healthy again. And then I have the Seahawks at 3, and it's not because I'm down on anybody besides their defense. Their defense is just not good. And all the other teams in the division got better. I don't really think they did anything crazy. I know that they got a tight end in free agency. I can't remember who it was. Wasn't oh man.
He's from the Rams too.
I was gonna say, isn't it the guy from the Rams? It's not Gerald Everett?
Yeah, Everett.
So they got Everett, which I mean, they actually have a tight end now. Sorry, I know you love Greg Olsen for his Carolina days, but that man was like 95.
Yeah.
So you actually have a real tight end now. Of course, you have DK. Of course, you have Tyler Lockett. We'll see if Chris Carson can actually stay healthy this year. They try to get a little help on the O-line because Russ basically said, listen, I'm tired of getting murdered every game. And listen, Russ is a top 5 quarterback. I still put him top 3. Don't care what anybody says. Actually, no, maybe I can't put him top 3 because I think I have – whatever. We can get an argument a different time. But a top quarterback. So they're obviously still going to be good. Listen, they added that extra wild card spot, so it is very possible that all these teams can make the playoffs. And I think I think it does happen. Obviously, the Rams will be in it because they'll win the division. I think, the 49ers could be a 11-win team. I think the Seahawks could be right there as well. and we're depending on where the cards fall is what seed everybody's going to get. But I think that's the most fun division to watch.
Oh, no question. No question.
I mean, where are you putting that? What division would you watch? That one or the AFC North? Yeah,
with Cleveland and
yeah.
Pittsburgh and all them. I'd probably watch AFC North just because I think from a player's perspective, I think it's more entertaining. Baker, and you got Lamar. I think and you got Joe Burrow now, who's electric. But just from like a football standpoint, like you want to see great teams go at it, I think it's probably the NFC West. I don't know. Both divisions are stacked. And then you got BR7 over there now. So, did you hear about his diet? He called it the BR7, Ben Roethlisberger.
No, I did not.
He's on that He's like talking like he's Tom Brady, like some crazy diet. He's on the BR7. That's what he was talking about.
Hey, at least that doesn't. I guess that means he's not eating burgers and everything the entire offseason now and growing that ugly ass beard he had.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I think he still has the beard.
I doubt he shaved it.
I don't know. Dog? But I can't wait for football to start. I think the first game of the season is Bucks Cowboys.
Yeah.
So we get to see the banner raised, the ring. I want to see the rings. I can't believe the rings haven't come out yet. Or did they?
Oh, yeah. I haven't seen them.
I haven't seen any of them.
I don't think they have.
I don't think they've had their ring ceremony, which is kind of weird. I feel like the season's very close.
We should talk about the signing that happened today.
I was going to say, speaking of that division, though, Mr. Melvin Gordon, or I am annoying. Melvin Ingram is going on over to the Steelers. Hey, you pair him with TJ Watt, we got a problem here.
Yeah, I really like the signing. I think it's a needed signing because Cam Hayward, he's still there, right? Cam Hayward.
I do believe so.
Yeah, he's still, he can still contribute out there, but he's not the dominant DN that he used to be. So I think having him and Ingram out there is going to be huge. Well, not like out there together because obviously TJ is going to be out there most of the time with one or the other of those two. But having both of them being able to rotate those three is huge because that defense is already very, very good. And then you add a player like Ingram to that locker room into that defense, it just makes them even better. So I love the signing. I'm honestly amazed at how many really good players are still free agents at this point in the offseason. Like there's a lot of talented veterans out there.
Who do we have? We got Sherman, who has his whole situation going on. But
yeah, Geno Atkins, I think, is still out there too. He can still kind of play.
Clowney's still available.
Clowney's still out there. Pretty sure Trey Boston is still a free agent too. There's some corner. There's a lot of just good vets out there that just aren't being signed.
This is I don't know. This is I said it about the MLB season. I think that this was going to be like one of the more exciting ones, and I honestly feel the same way about this NFL season because I think last year with the Patriots, obviously coming back down to earth, it was kind of a foregone conclusion almost that the Bills were going to win that division. And I still think they do, don't get me wrong. But I think at least the Patriots are a threat now because the team got better. So that division will be fun. We obviously talked about the AFC North. That division is going to be crazy. The Browns and the Ravens are probably going to be fighting that one out. But I would also not sleep on the Bengals. Not to win the division, but to just be a competitive and good team to watch. The South, you still got the Titans and the Colts. So it could be, right? Is that the right division?
Yeah, with the Jags too. Trevor Lawrence, if he comes out here being that godsend quarterback, you never know what's happening.
And then, what's the final division?
West? Who's in the West? Oh, that's the Chargers, Chiefs, Raiders.
Well, of course, yeah. And that's just quality. I said this before. I think I said it on the hard count. Chargers. Actually, no, I said it in the group chat, in the football group chat. Chargers are making the playoffs this year. I'm just saying. Just saying.
They better, man. That team's too talented not to. Too much. I need Derwin James healthy, though. I need to see that man play.
The amount of money I'll pay.
He's so good. He's so good, man.
Yeah, some good. You want to talk about good news for me, though. So, I'm going to a nice Yankee game on August 8th. Very excited.
Hey.
Then I'm going to another one on August 21st.
Hey.
And I might break my football virginity and go to a game.
Hey.
I've never been to a football game.
I've
never been to a basketball game either, which is a little too late for that one. But, that can wait. But I'm thinking Monday Night Football, December 6th, Patriots play the Bills in Buffalo. I think I might have to go.
Yeah, that'd be a fire game, too.
I'm trying to get a nice little group of friends together, to go with me. I think it would be fire. I might not wear any Patriots gear because I think they would try and kill me.
Oh, yeah.
So, but I'm trying to see some people slam through tables. I got to see what this Bills Mafia is truly about.
Yeah. It's really Bills Mafia. You got to see if the hype is right.
I got to see with my own eyes. I want to see people covered in mustard and ketchup being slammed through tables that are on fire. That's what I expect.
If it's not, it's
just a complete letdown.
Yeah.
Exactly. But with that being said, I don't got anything else, Josh. You got anything else?
No, man. Prayers to Richard Sherman. Probably going through some serious shit. So, shout out to him.
Going through it for sure. Oh, actually, and prayers out to all the people that were involved in that national situation. Crazy story.
That was scary,
with the gunfire outside of the stadium. So obviously, gotta hope everybody is okay.
Speaking of baseball, I actually just finished up my free agency in the show. Actually, I watched the Derby too. I enjoyed.
Oh, did you?
I did.
How do you feel about the Derby? Because we discussed this while you weren't on the show, obviously last week. Derby is my favorite extracurricular activity that any sport does, followed by the 3-point contest.
Yeah, I think it used to be. Dunk contest needs a revival. We need more stars in it. We need to fix these stupid rules they do. I mean, they did it at halftime this year, so that's how bad it's gotten. But the Derby, I loved it. It was really entertaining. Pete Alonso, I mean, it makes sense why he's going so hard for it. They said that his salary was like $600,000, and if he won the Derby, he gets $1 million. So I'm like, dude, I would go balls to the wall too. Shit, that's my whole year's salary today. So, but I loved it. It was entertaining.
Did you watch the All-Star game?
I did not, but I did see that Vladimir Guerrero Jr. went crazy.
Yeah, baseball truly is that global.
And also, I just signed a 7-year, $217 million contract with the Dodgers in the show.
Something light,
Something light. I haven't made the playoffs yet, though, bro. That's how ass. I picked because I did a random team when I started my show career. Like, I didn't know I'd be under their rights for a fucking decade, basically.
Oh, yeah. Arbitration, baby.
Yeah, every year I'm getting no contract offers, but then I got a contract offer from the Dodgers this offseason. I'm like, hey, I'm going.
What team were you on before?
I'm the fucking Pirates, man. What's up?
Oof. Yeah, that's tough.
That's tough.
That is not what you like to see.
Nah, it was awful. And the home run derby in the show sucks, dude. Like, I'll hit it the same exact way I do in games, which is usually a dinger, and that shit's a foul every time. And sometimes these pitchers, like the pitcher for the derby, sitting here giving me shit outside the box. I'm like, bro, just like throw it down the middle. Like, what are you doing?
No, they're trying to sabotage you. Unbelievable.
That's what I'm saying. I hit like 8 home runs, and Tatis over here in 24. I'm like, well, fuck. It's
garbage. Trash.
For real.
But I think we'll wrap it up there. A nice little comeback show for the kids,
Yes, sir.
Been almost a damn month since us two were on the show together.
I know, man. I know.
Unbelievable. It's nice to be back, ladies and gentlemen. But, Josh, what do you got for the people before we head on out of here?
Yeah, follow me on Twitter at Jolin_4. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, Generational Sports, and bet Corey Sandagan second round knockout. And we'll be back Monday, 7 Eastern. So I can tell you guys that I was right.
Yes, sir. As for me, obviously, Gen Z Sports for the pod. We do this every Monday, 7 Eastern. I am dedicated to posting the pod officially. It'll be out every Tuesday, 3 Eastern. So if you miss anything, you tuned in late, make sure you go and check out the pod. I'm going to get that consistency back up and running. Had a nice little vacation that I was on before this. But, found that motivation once again. So we're back with it. Gen Z Sports for the pod, obviously, for this show. Tuesday is the hard count. Coming back this week. Perry's going to do it with me. At least that's what he told me. Hey, so Perry, don't lie to me. Thursday is Backstop Banter with me and Michael. Last week, we interviewed Brandon Warren, I want to say his name was. I know his first name was Brandon. I just don't know if it was. I just don't know if it's Warren or something else. But he is a reporter for the Minnesota Twins, has his own website and everything like that. It was a great interview, talked about a whole bunch of stuff. So make sure you go and check that out as well. That is Thursday, 10 Eastern. Post the pods on Friday. Anthony _Conover on Twitter. Anthony Conover _ on Twitter. Anthony _ Conover on Twitch, where I put all the pods and everything like that as well. So, with that being said, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I appreciate all the comments and everything like that. And we will catch you next week.